As much as I love the Persona dance games, I understand when people find it an odd crossover, since Persona is a JRPG series and the Persona dance games are rhythm games. It seems these dance games sometimes present a new challenge to JRPG fans, since the gameplay is not what they're used to. When I reviewed the Japanese versions of the dance games months ago, there were a few comments expressing concern about completing everything and unlocking all of the story content for people that are more Persona fans than rhythm game fans, but want to get the most out of everything. After playing these games a bunch over the past few months, I think the story moments and unlockables are achievable for players of all levels of rhythm game skill at a fairly quick pace, as long as you play it smarter rather than harder. So here are some tips to help you experience the narrative of the Persona dance games as efficiently as possible and unlock a fair few costumes and extras along the way. As a rhythm game with a story, there's a little bit more to these Persona dance games than just the rhythm game at its core. This game can be divided into 3 parts: the rhythm game, social events, and the room exploration unlocked after playing for a while. This video will also be divided like that, with those and more specific timecodes in the description, so feel free to jump around depending on what you're working on in the game, or watch everything all together to try and get the bigger picture. If you happen to have tried more typical rhythm games like the Hatsune Miku games or DJ Max, you may be expecting a more traditional ranking system that gives you a percentage at the end that determines if you passed and how much you passed by. Persona Dance does show your progress in the form of points and a graph showing your general performance, but there's an important aspect that affects whether you pass songs that is a little different to other rhythm games, and that's the effect of its hype meter. During songs, the hype meter at the top of the screen essentially shows you how well your chain is going and how much you've missed. If you miss, it goes down, if you hit notes, it goes up, and if you get a chain of notes, it goes up more steadily. It also changes color if you're doing well or badly, and this is important for a few reasons. It affects what kind of rating you get at the end of the song, ranging from not cleared to king crazy, and some of these come into unlocking some social events. Most importantly though, is that if it's not at least green by the time the song finishes, you don't pass. So even if you did the first half of the song perfectly, if you mess up the second half and can't build your hype bar back up in time, you still won't clear it. It's a pro and con system-wise, but the good thing is if you mess up in the first half of the song, you can still make up for it in the second. So I recommend keeping an eye on both your hype meter and also the song duration at the bottom of the screen if you're slipping to see if the song is salvageable, and if there's a fever you can take advantage of. During songs, aside from the note circles, there are also the blue scratch rings in between notes that add a little more challenge and variety to songs. I like these scratches as I think they add more interest to the simpler modes, but in the harder difficulties, it can be hard to hit them all in between the constant stream of notes, and getting these scratches can come at the cost of hitting actual notes if you're not careful. The good news is that you don't need to stress too much, as missing these notes don't count as misses. So if you ever feel overwhelmed, you can just skip them. But the first time you skip all of them, even unlocking a modifier you can put on that does them all for you. Despite their optional nature, I do recommend doing them whenever possible, as they add to your combo, and if you see the hype meter slipping close to the end of the song, it's definitely worth keeping up with them, as you can use the extra combo hits to save yourself from a not clear. They definitely have their place in Persona Dance if you use them right, so with the right balance of main notes and doing as many scratches as possible, your combos and clear rate should be at their best. It might go without saying for some, but if you want to unlock story events as quickly as possible, there is no penalty for doing everything on easy, and likewise no bonus for doing everything on the hardest difficulty, unless you care about high scores, but those scores don't have a bearing on unlocking things in the end. What does affect unlocking certain characters' social events at a good pace is the amount of brilliance you achieve from songs, so if you're focused on getting story events quickly, it's probably better to unlock everything on the easier difficulty first and save challenges for later. On top of this, there are many supportive game modes that you can have on simultaneously that can do everything from doing scratches for you to allowing you to only press one button for all notes that can make playing the rhythm game an absolute breeze. And whether or not you'd use or don't use these, there's no negative consequences to unlocking things in this way, and using them will even contribute to unlocking a couple of story events that require you to use them. So it's good to know your options. Just keep in mind you have to do a quick task to unlock them first. Regardless of how you want to play, whether you want to play efficiently or not, just play in whatever way makes the rhythm game most enjoyable and pick the mode that is right for you, because the more you play, the faster you unlock things anyway, so you might as well enjoy it while you do it. with certain types of unlockables spanning from achieving certain clear ranks, changing costumes, and using challenge modes. If you want to unlock everything quickly, many of these requirements are possible to combine to get events done at a fairly quick pace, especially if you don't mind doing the same song a few times. The strategy I used when I was going for the Platinum Trophy was using one of the lost songs unlocked in the rhythm game that features all of the main casts, changing all of their costumes and accessories to whatever still had new next to it, putting on whatever challenges or supports I needed to use, and then doing the song, often an easy or at least a consistent difficulty each time, because I wanted to have a predictable rhythm pattern to make challenges as easy as possible. You can combine as few or as many as you feel comfortable with, but the main point is that combining at least a couple of things in songs with many dances will make things much faster than if you did them one by one with only 2 dances in songs to change the costumes and accessories of. If you want to feel a sense of completion for the Persona dance games, the Velvet Room Assistance events are the ones that will give you that. I won't go too much into why to avoid spoilers, but just know they're well worth doing if you're a fan of Persona 3 and Persona 5 and want to get the most out of your game in terms of both story and content available in these dance games. During the room exploration portion where you're trying to find hidden cards in characters' rooms, and some of the messier ones, it can get quite tricky to find some of them between all those colors and items scattered everywhere, especially since the cards are often hidden in plain sight in some great spots. My biggest advice for finding the more difficult ones of these is to use your ears before you use your eyes and listen. There's a kind of glittery, mystical, high-pitched sound that plays when you're near a card, and once you find where it is loudest, all you have to do is stay in the one spot and look all around you, and you should find it. As I said, these cards are well hidden, and this feature is designed with VR in mind, so make sure you're looking everywhere when you hear the sound. Look under tables, inside trash cans, on the ceiling, and anywhere else you hear that high-pitched sound, and you shouldn't have too many problems finding the cards. It might seem that the card is absolutely nowhere to be found, but that usually means it's hiding in or under something in a very sneaky way. So as long as you hear that sound, it's there, and you shouldn't have trouble if you just keep looking. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below if you're playing the Persona dance games and if you're having any trouble with them or you're finding it really easy. I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can like and share this video if you enjoyed it or if it helped you. Subscribe to my channel for more JRPG content like this, and ring that bell to get notifications on whenever I post so you don't miss a thing. You can check out more videos here, or you can check out the blog at jrpgjungle.com, and you can find me on social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, all at jrpgjungle. Links to those will be in the description below, along with links to my reviews for Persona 3 and Persona 5 Dance, and to everything mentioned in this video. Until next time, thank you, bye!